Mhm.
all of us have countries of origin that are different from the countries in which we predominantly operate. And this is not something that we designed, it just happened by random. And I'm guessing that this is rather the norm than the exception for so many working professionals today. So, which is why in 2025, this research is far more relevant than even 1995, right? And I think, as you said, Mesut, broadly, we are looking at how different cultures impact the work context. And the work context, and I think context is far more important for testing than for different fields because quality has a huge bearing on the context in which we are operating. Two cultures can perceive quality very differently. And like you said, it is not a very easy extrapolation from geographical distance. I find Indian work culture to be far closer to American work culture than German work culture, although, geographically, this is further apart. And the same applies to Germany and Japan, as opposed to, say, Japan and India, for example. And all of this has, you can draw parallels from history to explain this. And in India's case, a lot of the outsourcing happened from American companies. So corporate culture from America has a huge influence on Indian work culture, and so on. And what I find particularly fascinating about your research is that you're taking this broad and influence of culture at a meta level on work experience and you're translating that to testing, right? So I'd love for your thoughts on how you propose to take this broad insight and narrow it down to the domain of testing.
This was an important point. Thanks for raising this, especially for testing, since we are communicating with a lot of parties. Like sometimes as a tester, you have to talk to the product teams, product owner, manager. You have to talk to developers. You have to talk to other testers. So you have to talk to a lot of people. And especially in terms of the time limitations or the stress of the limited time, the testing teams or the QA teams are under the biggest stress, right? Because most of the time they are at the very end of the development cycle, and when we are very close to the release times, then everybody asking QA, are you finished, are you done, are there anything else that we have to complete? So when you are waiting for responses, then you can have an idea about what you can expect. Like sometimes, for example, in Japan, this is what I experienced so far. In my experience, something which might take little time, which might be quite fast, might be taking too longer than I expected. Because here, the process management is very important. Like somewhere else, you can concentrate on the outcome or just the delivery, right? Let's do it somehow. Let's forget about detailed test plans or the procedures. Just do it, just see the result, outcome, and make a decision to go or not. But no, this is not the case here. I believe somewhere else too, maybe in Germany as well. Uh, you have to follow the procedure. You don't have, or you shouldn't follow any ad hoc approach. What is designed in advance should be followed properly. That was the experience I had here so far.